Hey, this is Flasilcraft here. My children asked if I would try Cult of the Lamb for them, and I decided that it could be kind of fun and interesting if we kind of did that together. After talking with them for a bit, they watched me play for the first hour or so on the hardest difficulty, and I was having a lot of fun with it. Uh, Life gets busy, so they can't always watch me live. So I decided to start over entirely and record my progress so that even if they get busy, they at least have these videos that they can watch. And I figured y'all might enjoy watching me play too. So let's see. Let's just jump right into a new game here, huh? I know it says controller recommended, but I'm kind of stubborn. I really like the mouse and keyboard. I've gotten used to it at this point, so I'm just kind of gonna stick with that. I may switch it up as I go on if it gets just too difficult to control. So I don't know if I'm gonna read it all and then react to it or how I'm gonna do this. Obviously, I'm doing the voice over after the fact during editing, so it's gonna be kind of interesting, bit of a learning curve. But I think we're gonna be okay regardless of how we do this. So I am kind of familiar with the first 20 or 30 minutes of the game. Like I said, I was playing on the hardest difficulty, so my progress was very, very slow, and I could tell they were getting a little bit, we're going to use the term tired. So, but right at the bat here is we are going to go and get sacrificed and just start up. So we are gonna, obviously we're being, sacrificed and all that fun stuff. And while we're doing that, we're kind of gonna go what am I exactly expecting from this game? Because I'm going in pretty blind. I've seen a few challenge runs and let's plays and that kind of stuff, but not anything terribly in depth. I don't even really know the end game of it all. One of the challenge runs I watched was a pacifist run, which I thought was interesting. And the game kind of did catch my eye with the, building up the settlement kind of aspect and then flipping over to the combat aspect and having a balance between the two. So, future me knows that this is going to get really hairy, and I kind of know exactly what's going to happen in the first hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't remember exactly how long this play session was, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Uh, I'm still learning the controls, obviously, but we're going to kind of build up our settlement and just get through this. One thing about this game that I really want to mention, because the creative team behind this did a fantastic job on its art style. It's just it's nice and it's cozy feeling, but it's not super difficult. It's no Hades for sure on the difficulty scale. It's not like Hollow Knight or anything crazy as far as the difficulty of the combat goes. But it's fun and it's not repetitive. They've got a ton of different weapons you can choose from, and it's just, I don't know. The art style combined with the combat style it's just a pleasant experience. I am kind of rushing through the tutorial section here just to get to the difficulty. I'll start doing edits and cuts and that kind of thing once we get through that. Just for the people who may have never played this game before or just know a little bit about it and they just kind of want to see the intro and all that. It is kind of hand-holdy in the intro, which is more than fun because there's a lot of mechanics that kind of interact with each other and it's a lot to keep up with. This section's kind of, they give you invulnerability, so you don't have a health bar yet, so you can just take as much damage as you need to get through the tutorial section. But then it quickly spikes in difficulty after that, which is fun. I don't want to sound critical of the game. It's fun. I enjoy it. I really do. But I don't know. I've been so focused on my Minecraft Let's Play and just trying to get progress over there. It's interesting to switch gears and do an actual commentary on an entirely different genre of the game. And, that's a good thing. Stretching your legs, stretching your creative muscles. And so we're going to kind of... I'll keep popping in and out over talking over the intro here until we get to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, I'll just kind of skip and do the highlights of each run from here on. Okay, my first follower, he becomes a pain in my tookie, and like it's kind of predictable because I don't know all the mechanics and I'm still learning, and it's my fault. But he does end up causing me a little bit of grief by the end of the play session. That's just the nature of the beast, I suppose. I know he didn't have the best stats because they were all negative right off the bat, which is, just not a great starting point, but whatever. So, but then here we are about to start into the actual game itself, and then I'll just kind of jump and be like, oh, this is what we build, this is what we're doing, and now we're going to go run, and I found this guy and this guy. It'll go by much faster after this point, I swear. Okay, see, this is exactly what I mean. He's got this negative stat right off the bat, and that's fine. You win some, you lose some. It's a random game, and that kind of would make it the replayability so high. But it does make for a bit of a difficult start. I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead and leave their names and appearances just alone. I don't see a reason to go in and customize everybody. But, maybe I'll do, like, hey, I've hit my 100 subscriber mark, and I'll start naming after my subscribers kind of thing. Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, so after this, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that statement. Anyways, let's go. Oh no, I remember where I'm going with that statement. So after this, we gotta build the cook fire and make some food for the guys, and then we can finally start exploring and going and recruiting and running through, for lack of a better term, the dungeons to expand the cult. And so we're gonna just go ahead and build that real fast and then head on into the first exploration. Just gotta do the dance, do the prance, get this people to open the door for me, and then we will head through, and I should be able to find a follower, I think. Yeah, looking back at it, we definitely make it through on our first attempt this time, which is a marked improvement over my first attempt ever at this game. The lower difficulty definitely helps. On the hardest difficulty, you only have one heart to start with, which is 2 hits, but it's still, like, not easy. I don't entirely regret the decision starting there. It made going back to lower difficulty more easy and made the game a lot more accessible to me as a whole, but yeah, don't do what I did. Don't be an idiot. This was one thing that they pointed out to me every time it popped up during my first run while they were watching. It's the stars. You gotta go through the star doors every time you find them, just because they'll give you a little boof. I love the boof. It's random. You get to pick one of 2 completely chosen at random. So sometimes the buffs are really, really good. Sometimes the buffs are suboptimal. But either way, it's always good to see these star doors, and let's see which one I picked. A little bit more strength. That's going to help with the boss fight at the end. So let's see what else this dungeon's got in store for us. at the end of every dungeon segment, there's a bigger chest that's going to have a lot of different goodies in it, usually just gold. This one, we got lucky. We got ourselves another boof. I love that boof. This is the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. It increases what you can get out of the chest, so it makes it more likely to get better stuff and more stuff out of even the smaller chests. So definitely one that I typically go for every time I see it. So that little map, that's what I'm talking about, each one of the dungeon segments. That we ended up in a resource segment, which doesn't come with the chest, but it is free, so, you know, plus and minus on that one. But then right here, we're getting super lucky with another boof choice. And, yeah. I went with the diseased heart. It gives you essentially a temporary heart that whenever you get hit, the enemies take damage, every enemy on the screen. So it's incredibly useful just in a general sense. Temporary hearts are suboptimal compared to more permanent ones, but like we just take what we can get, you know. And here we've got our first little mini boss. Like I said, it took me about an hour and 15 minutes the first time I played through to get to this point, just because I was on the harder difficulty level and I didn't have the skills and the muscle memory of this game yet. But you're gonna see that I can just kind of melt this boss like butter now, just due to how much experience I've gained since then, and the easier difficulty allowing me to have a lot more health than I did the first time. After full clearing a section like this, you do end up getting, you know, the mini boss. You have to kill the mini boss, and then you get a follower, which is really cool. Guaranteed follower every time. That's nice. And then you also get your choice of one of these 3 items. I still am not entirely sure what the best option is. I typically just go for the gold nuggets. I don't know what they're for, but like gold, you can always use more gold, right? So, but then we'll be able to check our follower stats here. This follower is so much better than my first one. Petable is incredible. At least early game. I can't tell you how far because I don't have a ton of time in this game yet, but early game, it is just awesome. Be sure to be petting them every single chance you get the chance. Because you're gonna, trust me on that. Pet your villager, or your cultist, your follower, whatever the term is. Yeah, pet them. Pet your babies. And now we got to build the statue for our guys to worship at to help me grow in power. And we'll get another free villager, cultist. I'm gonna mess this up every time. I know I am. We're gonna get another cultist free of charge, which is awesome. And we can immediately assign him to start worshiping the statue, which gives us faith points, which will then power us to get more and more stuff, more and more blueprints and more stuff we can build for our cult, as well as power buffs, which are incredibly helpful. So yeah, we're gonna build this, and then we're gonna head right back to the dungeon again. I am a liar. We're not heading back to the dungeon. We're building the temple first, and then I think we're doing our first sermon, and then we're heading to the dungeon. You know, post-production brain, all that fun stuff. You're randomly given a different weapon at the very beginning of every dungeon, and this time I got the axe, which is incredibly powerful. Don't get that twisted, but it is so slow, and when going from the sword back to the axe, or the axe back to the sword, or even the dagger, which is the fastest as far as I can see, it's so bad at the axe. So I knew this was going to be a bad run, and sure enough, I am definitely going to die. But before my demise, let's take a look at what we got here. And looks like we're going to have the Lucky Paw, or the Rabbit's Foot, which is always what I'm going to choose. The other one's a 10% chance for crit, which is not bad, but definitely not really in my play style, especially not with the axe. I knew that since I had the axe, that was not going to be anything I needed. I do finally get my other power, which is like a ranged attack is what it's intended for, but again, you get a random power every time you enter the dungeons, so This time it's a range attack, which I only have 3 shots, and then I have to kill enemies in order to recharge it. It's not a bad thing, but it definitely takes getting used to, and I haven't really started using it hardcore like. Got another little blueprint from this chest, and then we'll take a look at the map. So the blueprint here was a path. I'm sure I'll use it eventually. It's just a beauty thing. But then here on the map, we see I've got different options this time. Last time it was just a straight line. This time I've got options, and yeah, we just kind of continue through the dungeon. I chose the path with the cultist so that we can quickly grab this guy. That way, even if I fail, I've expanded my cult and continue my progress towards the main end goal. So the next thing after the cultist was random card power. This one makes my curse powers, that shot that I've gotten earlier, a little bit cheaper to use. I don't entirely understand what that means, but you know, free stuff is free stuff. And then we get this cool little statue here. This is to one of the other 4 gods, the evil gods, when we're trying to beat. So I can steal worship off of him to power myself, which is really cool. So I grabbed that. And then the evil god gets his revenge by sending his guys, like I said, really bad with the axe. So ended up taking too long to swing and not dodging enough, and whoop, there I went. So I did my first death here, which will cost me faith points. I don't know if it does in first death or if it's every death moving forward from here. But like I said, I grabbed the cultist so that I would have at least a consolation prize if I did die. He's not the best, but you know, every cultist is going to help. I'm going to send him over to worship the statue as well, just to kind of help get more faith points and move faster and grow quicker that way. In the next morning, I do another speech, a sermon, just to, you know, help level that up as well so that I can get better and better stuff at the start of every run. So I think they're called crusades, but I'm going to keep using the term run because I am really bad with language. And here again, we can see it's just completely random which attack powers you get. I got a dagger and this weird tentacle thing, which is a bit of a shorter ranged attack. I keep saying range. It's more magic based, from what I can tell. Not ranged per se, because I know there's one that's like an AoE right around you, but it does more than just like your weapon. So, you know, I do like the random aspect. It gets a little bit of roguelike in there, and that's always fun. It keeps it fresh. To keep this video a little bit shorter, we're gonna just start rapid fire through these. I'm gonna just highlight, you know, new cultist I get, new buildings I unlock if I beat a boss. So we're kind of gonna go rapid fire till we get to the end here. Save the cultist. Got a new stone for a new edict so that we can do a new ritual. Made it to, but then died to the second mini-boss because my skills are lacking. Unlocked farming, major upgrade. Was finally deemed worthy enough to actually name my cult. We decided, of course, with Flasilcraft. What else am I going to call it? Made it to the second mini-boss again. Same result, death. Remember when I said my first cultist was going to be a pain in my tookie? Well, here he is, coming to be a pain in my tookie. He has grown dissatisfied with me and has decided, man, nah, this cult ain't for me. Danced around the fire, much rejoicing by my cultist. Yay, 5th place. Learned to play Knucklebones, not terrible at it, though I am going against the easiest opponent in the game. Picked a new favorite cultist, gave him some prezzies. He leveled up. Gained another new cultist. Cultist building. And round 3 with the second mini-boss. This time, I'm gonna play the whole thing so you can enjoy my victory. Played another round of Knucklebones, earned some gold off of it this time. May have to do that again. And the trader finally left camp. If he's so upset, he shouldn't have stuck around for so many days afterwards. Alrighty, thank you for everybody who made it through. I know that last about 10 minutes was pretty rapid fire. This game's kind of like you could watch the whole thing, you could just watch bits and pieces. So if this gets enough views or comments saying, hey, yeah, I'd like to see the whole playthrough, I'm more than happy to just put up my playthrough unedited, just throw it on the screen, and you guys can listen to it in the background. It definitely would help the channel grow and help with the algorithm and all that fun stuff. I know it's uncouth to talk about the algorithm, but I appreciate you guys watching to the end, and I hope that get as many views on this one as I do on the rest of them. So, till next time, we'll see you around.